متابعينا، نحن الآن متواجدون في منزل السفير البريطاني السيد ادوارد اوكدن للحديث حول مبادرة لندن، للحديث حول الفرص الاستثمارية التي ستكون في المبادرة وما الذي تميزها هذه المرة عن سابقتها.
فشكرا وأهلا بك ليلى وأهلا بكل المشاهدين الكرام. المبادرة لندن، وشو الاختلاف بين المبادرة لندن ومؤتمر؟ هذا سؤال جيد. It's an important difference because the conference will be a moment in time, and if there is one phrase to hold in your head, it's about economic opportunity. That is what this conference is seeking to encapsulate, to bring together governments and above all businesses to put together partnerships for the future and to identify and generate ways in which growth and jobs can be encouraged for the future. And the future will be taken forward in the London initiative. So we have the conference on the 28th of February and the initiative, the hard work, if you like, the really hard work. We'll have a great conference on the 28th, but the really hard work starts on the 1st of March when we implement everything that we've been discussing in London.
ما هو المطلوب من الأردن حتى يحقق أكبر فائدة ممكنة من المبادرة، وما هي الفوائد التي قد يجنيها؟
So we need every part of Jordan to play its role. So His Majesty the King, who will be headlining the conference, has already set out the Vision 2025. We have the government, and His Excellency the Prime Minister will also be giving a keynote speech at the conference. He has both committed his government to implement that vision and has, since the government took office last summer, been taking forward the implementation. And so, for example, the Minister of Planning will be talking about the 14 or 15 really important reforms that have already been put in place to make Jordan an even better place in which to do business and in which to invest. But crucially, we also need the participation of the business community, so there will be a very strong representation from the businesses in Jordan who will be making, we hope, partnerships with foreign businesses. There will be a delegation from the Crown Prince's Foundation of young people. Something like 68% of the population of Jordan is under 30. We're very keen that everybody at the conference should hear about the aspirations of young people. And also, I would say, a special focus on the role of women and the capacity of women to play a greater role in this economic transformation.
ما هي فرص الاستثمار المتاحة من خلال مبادرة لندن؟
So we have, not just as the Jordanian government and the British government working together, but also with some of the best academic institutions, so Oxford University, London School of Economics, Harvard University, looked at where are the sectors which over the next generation Jordan can beat the regional competition. And the answer is clear. It's in high value added services, so in tourism, in education, in healthcare, in ICT, in renewable energy, in high value professional services, those sorts of areas. And that is where the conference can identify, can paint us a narrative of how credibly this economic transformation can happen. So it's not just nice words at a conference, it's actually a credible implementation and saying to business, look, we have here real opportunities for you to come and invest, and you'll come here not just because Petra is a very nice place to go and visit and the Jordanian people are very welcoming, though they are, and Petra is very nice, but this is a really good environment in which to do business. So why have Expedia come here, Microsoft, and so forth? It's because they can do good business here.
ما هو المطلوب من الأردن لاستقطاب الاستثمارات من خلال المبادرة؟
The one word is commitment and follow through. So when I had a group of business leaders and ministers came round the other evening for the launch of the Mubadara at London, the one thing that the business leaders were all saying was follow-up. We want to see commitment. And the ministers were able to say with hand on heart, this is absolutely what we're committed to. His Excellency the Prime Minister has made clear many times. We want to see this through. This transformation will take time, but we are committed to being in it, for the medium term. And they will have the business community and the government will have Britain's very firm support in doing so.
ما مدى قناعة المجتمع الدولي بحاجة الأردن للدعم؟
Well, this is the international community in its widest sense. So yes, governments have a role, and the international community has made it clear, Britain included, that we will continue to support Jordan going forward, whether it's on economic transformation, in the management of its debt, in helping to encourage business tie-ups. But there's a very big role the Jordanian business needs to play in engaging as well, just as there is a big role for international business to engage with Jordanian counterparts. And what we're trying to do is to create the environment in which those partnerships can be generated.
ما هو تقييمك لتجاوب المجتمع مع التحديات التي واجهت الاقتصاد الأردني بسبب قضية اللجوء؟
So there are two separate things here. There is what I've been talking about, namely the economic transformation of Jordan, and then there is support for Jordan in the continuing responsibility of looking after, whatever it is, 670,000 registered refugees. And when His Excellency the Prime Minister launched the Jordan Response Platform just on Wednesday, Britain made clear, as did many other countries, our continuing support for Jordan in looking after the refugees and our commitment to continuing to do that. How we do it will change because we're no longer in the initial emergency phase when hundreds of thousands of refugees were coming into Jordan, and dealing with that was what the first London conference was about. What we're now dealing with is how to strengthen the structures of the Jordanian state to deal with the continuing burden, 7, 8, 9 years on, of the refugee presence, because they're not going back anytime soon. So how to strengthen education, healthcare and public services. And we have made clear as Britain, again, that we will continue to put, for example, more support into the education system, specifically to look after refugees. And the refugee angle will be taken forward on a regional basis in Brussels 2 weeks after London. But to come back to the key point, the London conference is not so much about refugees. Of course there's a refugee angle, but this is about supporting Jordan as Jordan and giving opportunities to Jordanians, to Jordanian businesses for growth and employment.
سعادة السفير ادوارد، نحن نشكر لك وقتك لإتاحة الفرصة للحديث حول مبادرة لندن. شكرا لكم متابعينا الكرام.